Hey guys, it's me Nes, and I'm going to react to another WrestleMania video, which is the real reason WWE canceled the WrestleMania location, and Vince unhappy with WWE, cuts off Triple H, and other news from WWE. Now, it was already been determined that a few, like 2 days ago, I think, where WWE has already canceled their WrestleMania location from New Orleans, but there were rumors that they'll be back in Las Vegas. And I feel like it wouldn't make any sense. I understand for business standpoint because they're making the most money, but at the same time, it's like it kind of, it's not really a good tradition to go back to the same place. I feel like after a couple of years and then you can go back again. So we will get to know other reasons and other news of this video. So let's get started with this video.
What is going on, guys? It is WrestleMania here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including the real reason why WrestleMania is cancelled in New Orleans. Vince McMahon is unhappy with the way WWE is run, and now not on speaking terms with Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. A shocking name wants to return to WWE. Did WWE spoil major returns? Goldberg's ready for his final match, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new videos on WrestleMania XL. Now let's do the intro and get straight into our first story. Now, first story looks at WrestleMania cancelled. Now, our top story today takes a look at the latest news when it comes to WrestleMania 42. Yesterday, in a shocking development, it was reported by WrestleNomics that WrestleMania 42 will no longer be taking place in New Orleans. Despite announcement earlier this year, WrestleMania will not take place in New Orleans in 2026, according to a statement provided Thursday to WrestleNomics. The statement provided that the Greater New Orleans Sports Foundation indicates the event is being rescheduled to a later, unspecified year. New Orleans was announced as a 2026 host city in February during a segment on SmackDown featuring The Rock Dwayne Johnson revealing the location. It's kind of funny though, now we have two Rock segments that have been pointless. It was also claimed that the New Orleans will now host Money in the Bank 2026 with a date for that specific event yet to be confirmed. Following this report, there was rampant speculation on social media on where WrestleMania 42 can now take place. It was even reported that some believed that the show was heading across the pond, with fans firmly believing that the WWE's biggest show of the year was heading to London. Many also speculated that Triple H was going to actually hold WrestleMania in Saudi Arabia, as they already have the Royal Rumble planned there for next year. Others wanted the event to take place where major international markets have worked, such as France or even Belgium. Locations where the crowd has been red hot and WrestleMania has never taken place there. However, that doesn't look to be the case. Disappointingly, a few hours after the initial news broke, it was reported by NOLA.com that Las Vegas would once again be the host of WrestleMania 42. They wrote, after the success of this year's event, the new leadership running WWE decided that they would rather hold next year's event in Las Vegas and see what response they got from fans, according to an industry official who wasn't authorized to be quoted by name. Fans are absolutely puzzled by this move, as in this era, it's virtually unprecedented for WWE to repeat WrestleMania locations for 2 consecutive years. The only time that's ever taken place is for WrestleMania 4 and 5 at the Trump Plaza, which actually turned out to be Atlantic City's Boardwalk Hall. Now, WWE have yet to confirm the validity of the report, but numerous sources have now confirmed that they also heard that WrestleMania 42 will be in Vegas. Fans on social media are already making jokes, including ourselves, where we said that the WrestleMania 42 set was leaked, just with different colors. Seriously, I really wouldn't put it past WWE to reuse the same set as last year. However, they could go outside the box with a big slot machine this time. Also, we're going to hear Fiend for the 900th time. Naturally, there's a lot of anger from fans who've had planned to attend next year's event in New Orleans. New Orleans is often said to be the most welcoming city for pro wrestling, and fans who attended prior WrestleMania events there said that they had an amazing time. WWE cancelling a WrestleMania location with less than 12 months notice is very rare. However, fans who are planning on attending the show may have already booked hotels and made travel arrangements, and some of these will no doubt be without a free cancellation clause. But what was the...
Now, here's the thing. I think that we had 3 chances. If they continue with the New Orleans, it will be the 3rd time. But there are other, locations that's good for WrestleMania. In the US, you got Atlanta, the last time that happened in 27. Or Chicago from last time it happened was 22. Like there's a lot of places, but you don't need to repeat the same thing at 41 and then 42 Las Vegas. Unless if you want to go to outside like overseas, I think Wembley or the UK is way better, or any place as long as it is making some sense that from the Europe standpoint, like France or Scotland or the UK, but UK has the most obvious one. I really am not sure with the Saudi Arabia because let's face it, they already have the Royal Rumble. Why would you at least put Saudi WrestleMania when you already put the Royal Rumble there at some point? So it's like it wouldn't make sense, but I hope that, if they're going to decide what place they need to take this seriously and hoping for the best that once they confirm, lock it in, and then, spread the news when it's the right time to show the WrestleMania for that specific location. All right.
The real reason behind WWE changing the WrestleMania location. Whilst the majority of the blame for the WrestleMania change is being directed at TKO, there are also other factors at play here. According to journalist Andrew Baydala over on X, the decision wasn't just made by WWE and TKO. New Orleans' decision not to host WrestleMania this year is not solely a decision made by WWE. The decision could very well be influenced by infrastructure issues involving the Greater New Orleans Sports Foundation and New Orleans and Company. These issues may include various factors such as funding, security, facilities, and more. Now the conversation becomes who is going to be able to afford and support this year's WrestleMania. But there's also another reason, as according to PW Insider, WWE is now expected to hold multiple major events annually in Las Vegas, not just WrestleMania. This news was also confirmed by Dave Meltzer in the Wrestling Observer newsletter, saying that the plan is now to run WrestleMania on a regular basis in the city, not necessarily every year, but frequently. Funny enough, the location also plays a key part to TKO and Nick Khan, as key TKO executives reside there and WWE President Nick Khan grew up in the area. The sheer costs that cities must endure putting on the events such as WrestleMania are rarely discussed, so if New Orleans believes that funding as well as other factors would prevent them from hosting the event next year, it was probably in WWE's best interest to find a new location as soon as possible. And since they've already had a well-established run last year, why not just do the same? The only problem again is people shelling out another 40 grand for front row tickets.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of this huge change? Would you guys like to see WrestleMania in Vegas again? Next up, a huge match planned for Money in the Bank. WWE is set to host their annual Money in the Bank show next month, and it looks like WWE have a mega match planned for the broadcast. It was reported yesterday that Travis Scott could be wrestling on the show, and then PW Insider followed this report up by stating that Scott could be teaming up with John Cena and Logan Paul to take on Cody Rhodes and the Usos. But PWInsider.com can further report that the pitch for a potential six-man tag at Money in the Bank would have seen Logan Paul teaming with Cena and Scott, presumably against the Usos and Cody. Whether WWE goes in that direction remains to be seen.
The thing is this. I'm not really high on Travis being part, but you basically making the evil group against Usos and Cody. And the thing is that we haven't heard from Cody, knowing that Money in the Bank is June 7th. So it's like we're basically, I guess 2 weeks away for the event. So it's like, I don't know. Like, I don't think this is the ideal type of match. It's okay for a tag team match, but you don't need you don't really need to put Cody in the situation. I think the best way for Cody to come back is after or around SummerSlam, not right now, to be honest.
The match seems incredibly random and out of nowhere, and this would naturally require Rhodes to return to television and Paul to form some kind of connection with Cena and Travis Scott. WWE have just 2 weeks to... Let's not to mention that, Logan doesn't like Cena because of what happened during the Royal Rumble. That Cena eliminate Logan. So I don't know if there will be some, chemistry building up to it. That's the thing that I was a bit concerned if they're going to make that match. Build to this match, so unless they use Saturday night's main event tomorrow to set up the match is sadly going to suffer from a lack of build. The
Yeah.
reaction to this news on social media is extremely negative, and it's easy to see why. Fans are questioning if using one of Cena's final ever matches and his final ever appearance at Money in the Bank in a random 6-man tag team with Travis Scott and Logan Paul is the best use of his limited dates.
Exactly.
Scott's planned WWE work is already receiving eye rolls from fans, especially with how the now infamous WrestleMania 41 appearance was handled. There were rumors at one stage that WWE would be running back Cena vs CM Punk at Money in the Bank.
That
Due to
could
their
work.
established history at the event, it would have been an incredible story to run their feud back, but this time with the roles reversed. However, it was widely reported last week that the match isn't planned for the show and that the two names are destined for other matches.
That could work, but Cena and Punk is better suited for SummerSlam, not Money in the Bank. Like, you could rewind, but the build-up ain't that, the build-up wasn't like from the last time that they done that in 2011. So I think that, it is hard to put where Cena's going to face against anyone, but if it's against Punk, well, regardless of how the build-up will goes, hopefully it's gonna go smoothly well because you only have limited time to build up that match.
Next up, did WWE spoil major returns? Yesterday, the official Peacock X account posted a video promoting tomorrow night's Saturday night's main event special. The video mainly focused on Cena appearing on the show, however the video also featured numerous names that aren't even advertised for the show. Names such as Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes were both featured, with the latter being rumored to return at the event. Some on X are believing that Peacock has accidentally spoiled his return. The video also features numerous women including Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair, but as things stand, there's not a single women's match on the card. It's entirely possible that the video was made before the match card was fleshed out. However, a lot of the video clips of Cena seem to be taken from recent episodes of television. Next up, Vince McMahon unhappy with the way WWE is run, and he's not on speaking terms with Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. According to a former WWE personality, Jonathan Coachman, Vince McMahon is unhappy with the way WWE is being run. According to Coachman on Behind the Turnbuckle, McMahon isn't just unhappy with the way WWE is operating, he's also not on speaking terms with Stephanie or Triple H. So I also got some other information concerning Vince and how he's not happy with what's going on in WWE right now, as you can imagine. Reportedly, remember at WrestleMania when Triple H and Stephanie brought everyone out front to show who's running things? Well, apparently Vince hasn't spoken to either of them since the board vote when they had to decide whether to keep him or send him out, and he won't speak to them. They both voted no. Coachman would then boldly claim that Shane McMahon is the only one Vince is still close with, and Coachman even suggested that former chairman could buy back WWE from TKO. It feels to me like Shane, who sided with Vince on several occasions, might be the only one he's still close with. And we all know Vince's history with Triple H. He despises him. Vince was once quoted saying there's too many McMahons in the kitchen, referring to Triple H. Now just imagine this. Triple H reportedly didn't even show up on the financials. He's making so little compared to others. What if Vince, seeing all this infighting and dysfunction, decided to step back in and buy WWE back from TKO? Could you imagine that? Vince reclaiming WWE? Now, while some may question Coachman's validity, Coachman still has a plethora of friends backstage in WWE, so he definitely knows a lot of information related to these kinds of topics. But the idea of McMahon buying back his old company would be insane. This is pro wrestling after all, where nothing can truly ever be ruled out. Next up, Goldberg.
It's odd for if Vince is going to take back WWE because first of all, people will question why did you sell the company, and now if he has plans to take it back, it wouldn't make any sense. So I don't know, man. I feel like once you have sell the company, that's basically it. You can't just decide to get back just because you don't like something what you see. This is basically a different, owner and how he operates with the team. So if you decide to take it back just because I don't know what was the reason for you to sell, because you don't like what you saw, just let it all go. Because it's like, times have changed. We're living in a different era now. So you don't really need to go back and thinking that, oh, I can change this. But, I feel like if Vince is not happy with how it goes, just let it go, man. Let it go.
Training for his final match. Goldberg is set to have his final pro wrestling match at some point in 2025. Whilst the date for the match is unknown, there are rumors that the match could take place in Saudi Arabia next month, or even potentially at SummerSlam in August. Speaking on the CarCast podcast, the WWE Hall of Famer stated that he's now training ahead of his final match, and he added that he's got some time left to get ready, which implies that the final match won't be in the immediate future. I'm doing good, I'm feeling a little bit better, I've gained a little bit of weight, and I've done a little kickboxing on the weekends. I am getting there, man, got a little bit of time left, but you know, slowly but surely, Rome wasn't built in a day. Fans are convinced that Goldberg will cost Gunther his world title match on Raw next month, and this will act as a continuation of their angle from Bad Blood, as well as set up Goldberg versus the Ring General for Goldberg's final ever matchup. And finally, a shocking name wants a WWE return. Now, final story today takes a look at a new interview from former WWE star Mr. Kennedy, and in the interview, the former US champion discusses his interest in a potential WWE return. Kennedy departed from WWE back in 2009 on bad terms, and there's been no rumblings whatsoever on Kennedy potentially being brought back. However, during a new interview with Chris Van Vliet, Kennedy revealed that he is indeed interested in having another run in the promotion. I didn't want to, I swear to God I had no desire. I think I never wanted to blow the bridge up completely, but I really had no desire. When I was at TNA, I was like, I'll never go back there, I'll never work for them again. Now it's changed, I would definitely go back now. Yeah, and I think the animosity was, instead of looking at myself, I was looking at this person did this, and that person did that, and they screwed me. Then at some point I realized I played a huge hand in all of that. Now it seems unlikely that WWE would be interested in bringing Kennedy back full time. The roster is already stacked. However, Kennedy making a cameo in a future Royal Rumble would be a welcome move, and would no doubt receive a great reaction from the crowd. Would you guys want to see him back in the WWE? Let us know in the comments down below.
To be honest, that would be interesting because Mr. Kennedy would like to at least go back and hope for the best that him and Randy Orton would be okay terms. But, you know, for him to have a cameo in the Royal Rumble would be interesting because, like, you know, this man hasn't been in WWE for years, and if he wants to go back, maybe WWE is giving him a chance. So, yeah, overall, this is a good video. So, I kind of feel like at some point, you know, the Goldberg situation, I feel that, yeah, it might be possible that he's going to screw Gunther, and Gunther being his last opponent would be nice. Regardless of the outcome, I hope that, because the retirement match, it depends on how it goes. Like, if Goldberg wins, it would be like, people are going to complain. But I think that, you know, having Gunther beat Goldberg would be a good touch, so that, you know, things will be alright to notice that Goldberg's gonna put over Gunther. But overall, this might be one of those things that, yeah, for the location of WrestleMania, hopefully they found a good location. And if for Vince, just let it go, man. If you don't like what's going on in WWE, just let it go. You sell the company because at some point, yeah, you feel like that this company is on better terms at this point for the new era. So all I can say is that, guys, thank you for watching. We will see each other in the next video. Peace.